I look at how the government, the churches, your friends, your co-workers, your bosses in some cases, your experts, your counselors and others, all they push is fear. They want you afraid. Because if you have fear, you can be controlled. You can. You'll be on the run if you have fear. Fear, except for practical fear, walking across the street, you look both ways. You don't want to get hit by a car, or you don't want to go into a bad area and put your life at risk. Those are examples of practical fear. But there is an abnormal fear that other people with fear use against you in order to control you so they can feel alive, which is still not life. It's a false feeling of life, but it's not real deal. And I see that happening with the Great White Hope now. It's happening with him, but I don't know if it's happening to him. It's something magical about Donald Trump where nothing or no one seemed to stop him. That's why I want to encourage you, and I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I can't tell you that. But I can encourage you to have a little space between you and all people, really, but Donald Trump, but all people, your parents and everyone, a little space, and so you can observe preachers, teachers, prophets, evangelists, whatever they call themselves, or presidents of universities, heads of organizations, doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, always have a space. And I want to encourage you to do what you want, to have that space and watch what's happening to Donald Trump and how he's handling it and the outcome of these things. They are amazing. It's almost like I'm looking at these, I'm like, what the? It's a clear battle of good versus evil. And the same thing happened in South Africa. Check in South Africa. It has already happened there, and you will understand the things to come here. And so they're going after the Great White Hope, and so forth. There is no stopping him. Ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move, says the Great White Hope. This is from thehill.com. In laying the foundation for his decision against Donald Trump, Judge Engoron observed that this is a venial sin. I don't know what that is. Not a mortal sin. Yet, at $355 million, we would think that Engoron had found Trump to be the source of original sin. It's openly being done against Donald Trump, and they don't care that you know it's wrong. They can care less because the thrill that they get from trying to hurt Donald Trump is greater than the thrill they get from you concerned about what you think about it. Watch this compilation.
I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president. He should be charged with obstructing justice. I believe that the president of these United States can be indicted for criminal offenses.
I will be shining a bright light into every dark corner of his real estate dealings. And every dealing, demanding truthfulness at every turn.
Would those comments have any legal basis for a dismissal here?
I think they're very troubling comments. The government is held to a different standard. And the public generally believes that when they say something that it's accurate. We can't have people targeting particular citizens when they're running for office, especially when there's been no investigation and certainly no finding yet at that time of any culpability.
Amazing, huh? It's interesting to me that even know the right people to put in the right places to try and destroy good. It's mind-blowing to me. It's interesting in that you have a part of our population that over the last 70 years been groomed and prepped to bring nothing but destruction upon America. And that's the blacks. Whether you realize it or not, and not all the blacks, some are waking up now, but not all the blacks, even back then, they didn't fall for it. But if you really, really pay attention, you don't have to say it out loud in case somebody get mad at you. You can't have the people get mad at you. But just think about it and watch. Whenever they want hell brought into a situation, a country or government or business or church or anything, who do they bring? They bring the blacks, and especially the black female. This woman, big smile on her face, and all those black women standing around applauding, bringing evil into another person's life. Every ego is about him or herself, never about the. Look at your mother. Your mother don't care about you. Your mother is about herself and no one else. Not the kids, not the husband, not the nobody. Everything she does is about her. That's an ego. That's evil. This is from Bloomberg.com. Donald Trump vowed he will appeal the fine. Watch this from C-SPAN.
But a crooked New York State judge just ruled that I have to pay a fine of $355 million for having built a perfect company. Great cash, great buildings, great everything. It affects New York. It's mostly talking about New York, where we have a totally corrupt attorney general. She campaigned on the fact that I will get Trump, I will get Trump. Everybody's seen it. Leticia, James, they've all seen it. It's a witch hunt against his political opponent, the likes of which our country has never seen before. You see it in third world countries, banana republics, but you don't see it here. There was no fraud. The banks all got their money, 100%. They love Trump. They testified that Trump is great customer, one of our best customers. They testified beautifully. If I weren't running, none of this stuff would have ever happened. None of these lawsuits would have ever happened. Nothing would. I would have had a nice life. But I enjoy this life for a different reason. We're going to make America great again.
Amazing. Just imagine if there were 10 white men as strong as Donald Trump in America. This country, it'll be paradise on earth already. And have you noticed that if not all, most of the DAs are black and most of them are female? Tell me once, tell me twice. Who is being used for destruction? Is that being used for good? And blacks, to the blacks, y'all don't have to allow these people to use you for evil. But you got to take back your life so you can be guided by good. Here's a perfect tweet from Elon Musk about this situation. Watch this from X Photo.
Given that there were no victims with losses, who is supposed to receive the money?
Oh, isn't that great? Elon Musk. Right, who's going to get the money? Given that there are no victims with losses, who is supposed to receive the money? And this is from JonathanTurley.org. The court admitted that not a single dollar was lost by the banks from these dealings. Witnesses testified that they wanted to do more business with Trump, who was described as a whale client with high-yield business opportunities. America has changed from when I was growing up in America like I never imagined. It almost like when you talk about the good old days, that It's not true. It seems as though it's not true because things are so bad now. And they are using the blacks. When I say they are using the blacks, there are blacks using the blacks, there are whites using the blacks, there are abortion people using the blacks, there are the radical homosexuals and lesbians using the blacks, there are the radical Mexicans using the blacks. Everybody, there are the climate, quote unquote, changers using the blacks. Everybody is using the blacks when they want to bring on some type of personal destruction, an agenda. They are even using the blacks for that by using the word racism. I want to give you an example of what my country has become. Just one example. This is from the AP.com. Conservationists at the National Archives are still working to clean up the building rotunda area after a pair of environmental protesters on Wednesday dumped powder on the display case housing the Constitution. Watch this from CBS and News 2. Share. Watch this.
We are determined to foment a rebellion. We will not be held accountable to laws in which we have no voice or representation.
We're calling for all people to have all these rights, not just wealthy white men. We subsidize from fossil fuels to start moving towards real climate solutions. To change how we do things, we need to change systems and value the lives and well-being of people over the profits of the many.
We need to declare a climate emergency. President Biden, please declare a climate emergency. America, please declare a climate emergency. This is terrifying.
How were they able to get that close to, unless they were covering up their little pink stuff? But this is happening in America. And white people are being used too, because they're giving you the idea that white people are to blame for everything, even the climate. White people are like God. They created the climate. God ain't got nothing to do with it. God has nothing to do with white. It's no wonder the world believes that white people are so powerful that they call white people white supremacists. They put white people next to God. If you're not ready to hear the truth and receive it, stay away from it. Really. Do not even attempt to go down that path. Wait until you know that you're ready. I'm telling you, I don't want to put fear in you because you already have fear, but this is one thing I would really want to warn you about. If you're not ready to overcome evil with good, if you're not ready to get on that straight and narrow path and stay there, because that path is not easy. And it's only not easy because of the false, you're so identified with the false self. They're using the climate change lie in order to divide and conquer. They want you to join their club. NBC, U.S. Assistant Secretary for Health Rachel Levine claimed Thursday that climate change is impacting black communities at a higher rate than other racial groups. Watch this from The Hill.
Hello, I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact.
Somebody need to give that guy a finger. He's looking at you with a straight face and just lying. This isn't, if there is such a thing. I'm going to use this word, but I don't really believe it exists. But I use the word in order to communicate with you. This should be an insult to all blacks, no matter what your religion, your politics is, or anything. That guy just lied to you. That guy just put you down and said that he has no respect for you at all. BBC.com is reporting that climate change is inherently racist. So God, the white man, is racist because he created the climate. We're a Jewish guy. They say God is Jew. They call him racist. He created the climate. Isn't that amazing? You don't appreciate the climate? Where's racism and everybody is on the earth? When it rains on one, if it's raining in your area, it rains on all. They go on to say climate change and racism, two of the biggest challenges of the 21st century, are strongly intertwined. Climate justice campaigner Asar Reben says, we have to understand the connection between slavery, colonialism, and racialized capitalism, which created the condition for the climate crisis. All lies. You are affected by your moral character, lack thereof, than any other thing on earth, as individuals. That's why the Father sent His Son to return you back. I want you to check. That's wrong. That's a lie. That's evil. May I just say that? May I just say that? And they're just blaming the whites and the blacks so they can keep them divided in order to conquer. Black people, they want you down and out and mad and blaming. They don't want you free. Who will they blame then? Who will they use as the underdog to attack America? If not you, who? I want you to check out this headline from earthisland.org. This photo of Hassan.
How white supremacy caused the climate crisis. Embedded in the theory of racial supremacy is the theory of human supremacy over nature, which has brought environmental calamity upon us.
Amazing. White people, you're so powerful, almighty white supremacists, that you can change the climate. I wish y'all tell it to stop raining in California right now. They are using white people and black people for total hell and destruction. Here's another one from the Washington Post. Watch this.
Whites are mainly to blame for air pollution.
Right on, white. I want to be white.
Whites are mainly, I got to read it again. Whites are mainly to blame for air pollution, but blacks and Hispanics bear the burden, says a new study.
Poor blacks and Hispanic. Y'all just so weak. Y'all let the white man put pollution on you. They so powerful. No wonder they want to erase Christianity. Amazing. This article, the article from the Washington Post, goes on to say, air pollution, the leading environmental cause of death worldwide. I thought it was like heart attack, cancer, car accidents, abortion. But no, it's the environment. And white folk, y'all to blame. According to these people, not according to me. The article from the Washington Post goes on to say, air pollution, the leading environmental cause of death worldwide, reflect the racial inequalities of Americans' life. I wonder when God decided to make it rain, because in the beginning, water came from below up. But I guess after Adam did believe the woman, or Eve believed the devil, the water started coming from up below to down instead of going up. I wonder, did God know, you know what, one day this rain going to create inequalities for black people. What a mess. And now the kids are scared. If this is true, it's hard for me to believe that this is true, but it might be, because parents don't raise their children anymore anyway. They have them, some of them, but they don't raise them. They have a baby, they throw a computer in the baby's face as soon as the baby pop out the womb, and they start to spoil the kids so they can go out and have fun, so the parent can be on eco trips. So this might be true and it might not. According to CBS, 59% of youth and young adults said they were very or extremely worried about climate change, and more than 45% said their feelings about climate change negatively affects their daily life. You call those kind of kids beta kids, beta kids. You ain't got sense enough to be afraid of a climate. You don't even know what that is. You just go outside and play. You don't even know. Your mama have to tell you, put your jacket on, it's too cold. Watch this from CBS.
Research shows that 3/4 of young people are reporting worry about climate change, and not all of them have a mental health disorder.
Yeah,
we also
they do.
see climate change anxiety contributing to mental health issues in adolescents particularly. Climate change anxiety, I think, is an appropriate and normal response to what is going on our Earth, on our globe, and that our goal isn't to tell people, you know what, there's no issue here, we just need to teach you some breathing skills and then you will feel okay. The goal is to acknowledge this is a real issue.
So being worried is legitimate.
Exactly.
That's what you would expect, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Start with being worried.
Start with being worried, exactly. The response isn't only anxiety. We see grief, we see anger, and these are also perfectly appropriate responses to climate change.
Every time you listen to the woman, you suffer. That is Satan's daughter lying to you. When did worry become a good thing? She's encouraging you to suffer. Worry is evil. Every human being that worries is evil. From Fox. In an Earth Day testimony before Congress, the 18-year-old Swedish activist Greta Thunberg, what's her name? Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Oh, I like the way he said it. I hear him on the show mention it. Was asked how to parent children was asked how to parent children afraid of rising temperature. Watch this from Sky News.
Well, this particular politician asked Greta Thunberg about the emotional toll of climate change on her child.
I just wanted to ask you one question. I have a 9-year-old daughter. I have 3 kids. And I told my 9-year-old daughter that I was going to be speaking with you. And I said, what do you think about the climate change? And she said, the earth is on fire and we're all going to die soon. And I asked her how that made her feel, and she said it made her feel angry. What should I tell my daughter, and how should I help her and the youngest generation bear the emotional toll of the actions that we're taking?
The best medication against anger and anxiety is to take action yourself.
I would have said, I would tell your kids to go find some more parents. They got the wrong mama. Isn't that pitiful? That's evil. This woman put in fear her children. This is some dumb little Greta Thunberg or whatever her name is. Greta Thunberg couldn't find her way out of a paper bag. Now do you see why mothers need the husbands to be there to stand between the man, children, and her? Otherwise, she's going to destroy them like that. How you put your mind, let me ask Greta this. Poor children. Kids don't have a chance today. I was talking to JLP Friday, he black. And he was saying, and I agree, kids don't have a chance today. Parents do not raise children anymore. The government is made of a body of evil people. Look at how they fight desperately to give our money to Ukraine, and they do nothing to protect American citizens. And so you have to ask yourself, what is in it for them that they're putting out all this money for Ukraine and nothing for America? Do they really love Ukraine more than they love America? No, they don't. That's an avenue for personal gain. But it's because until you return to the Father, you are possessed by evil. I want you to watch this evil devil attack. And just kind of keep a space between you and this person and watch her eyes, watch her smirk, watch the thrill she's getting in thinking, because that's what it is. All thoughts are all lies all the time, but she's thinking she's hurting her fellow man. Her whole life is built on it. And believe me, Donald Trump is not the only one she's doing this to. Evil is not your friend. It doesn't stop with one person. I want you to watch this person. Just watch her. Forget about her blackness. Forget about her overweight. Forget about her fro or whatever she has. But look at her eyes and smirch and don't, the devil going to try to make you hate her, but don't. Let the thought of hate pass. Listen from ABC. Letitia James said that she is prepared to seize the former president's assets if he is unable to find the cash to cover the fine. Watch this from ABC.
Late this afternoon, the AG told ABC News that she will seize the former president's assets if he is unable to find the cash to cover the $355 million fine for fraud.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets. And so at the end of the day, how he pays for the judgment is really not my business. At the end of the day, he is responsible and liable for $363 million plus $100 million in interest.
But the Attorney General is confident that her judgment will hold up and that she ultimately will prove victorious over the former president.
Woe unto the human being who try to get revenge against your fellow man, who rejoices in the pain of others. All you're getting is a temporary ego thrill, but your suffering will be mighty. As a matter of fact, it is mighty because as you're trying to hurt others, you're burning in yourself. You're hurt. You're burning. Hell is fire inside of you. So you're already suffering, thinking that you're hurting others. Last night, Donald Trump from Fox, Donald Trump was in Greensville on Tuesday afternoon for a town hall event. And it was, I'm telling you, amazing. It was like the word in operation. As the Christians say, in the beginning there was the word. The Bible is the word. I am bringing the word. Donald Trump was in a town hall meeting yesterday. Watch this from Fox.
We had such success in history. Some of your favorite pollsters like McLaughlin and Fabrizio, I met them the day before I heard the word COVID or pandemic, the day before. And we were talking about the next election coming up. They said, sir, If Abraham Lincoln and George Washington came back from the dead, they couldn't beat you. I don't care about the revenge thing. I know they usually use the word revenge. Will there be revenge? My revenge will be success. Thank you very much, Gully. Appreciate it. I like that question. I like this guy. I can tell. But he's a man of common sense. I'm a man of common sense. You know, they say you're conservative, you're liberal, you're this, you're that. No, we're people of common sense. It's a new category. I don't know if you've heard this, but I came up with this one, migrant crime. There's crime, there's violent crime, there's migrant crime. We have a new category of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's going to be worse than any other form of crime.
Amazing. That lady asked him, I asked Donald Trump, will he try to get revenge against these people that's going after him once he become president, once and if he become president? He's like, no, my revenge is success. That is truly men and women who will return to the Father. There's nothing in you. It will change. When you're in a fallen state, you have that evil nature. You want revenge, right? But once you change to the God's nature, not some ideal about God, there's nothing in you that want to get revenge against other human beings because you know what's going on. You know it's not them. They can't help it. So in 2015, according to Wikipedia.com, during a debate, the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, they didn't say Great White Hope, I did. Donald Trump said that this is a country where we speak English, not Spanish. And some of you may remember this movement, Wikipedia.com. The English-only movement is a political movement that advocates for the establishment of English as the only official language in the United States. Watch this from X.
Have signed an executive order saying that English is no longer America's national language. It's Executive Order 13166.
Thank you for calling 911. Please listen for your language. For Spanish, press 1. For Korean, press 2.
Do you ever miss English? Immigration is out of control. Bush and Gore are writing off English for good. What can you do? Vote for the third party that puts Americans first. Vote Buchanan for president.
For Swahili, press 12.
For Swahili. Oh, remember that? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Some of you may have woke up this morning or during the night because a lot of folks sleep and live on their cell phone 24 hours a day. They wake up in the middle of the night and get on the cell phone. What the? Some of you may have awakened this morning to some news that there was an outage last night or during the night. And I wonder, is this real? What is it all about? If it really happened, who made it happen, and why? Because so much is happening in America today that's abnormal, that is mind-blowing. We are truly a third world country now. And ain't no stopping it. Ain't no stopping it. They're on the move. And so if it's true that there was an outage, I wonder, and I don't know, but I wonder, was it an accident? Or was it planned? Or is it being prepped for a plan later? You know what I mean? It's nice to question things so that you know that you know that you know. So according to the New York Post, a major cell phone outage affected users across the U.S. early Thursday, even stopping some police departments from being able to receive 911 calls. The cause of the outage, however, remains unclear. So they're saying they don't know. Why did this happen? Why? So I'm just wondering, I'm black and slow. Was it an accident? Were they doing a test? Why did this happen? Did it really happen? Is it a test for something down the road? Just wondering. Because the one thing that is happening in the world and it happening inside of human beings is there is evil. There is good and there is evil. And evil in my country is having its way right now. It seems. It seems. So did this happen? Is it happening because there are some people who are truly waking up? There are some people who are waking up. And here is an example of some people waking up. Watch this from X.
Just going to give you a little backstory on how I switched from a Democrat to a full-on Republican. Growing up black, I mean, that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a Democrat. That's all you knew. I mean, that's all I knew. And it's crazy because I was so blind. I remember believing that the Democratic Party cared. They cared. They were going to do what was right. That's what I was told. And not paying attention that these politicians are just capitalizing off of strife, pain, etc. They really don't care. They were using pain to get a vote. And I just woke up one day.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's interesting how one or two people wake up. Majority never wakes up. But one or two. And it's in the Word. It's in the Bible. Only a few will find that straight and narrow path. Most won't. That is so interesting to me. And that's why when I talk to people, I really want to understand what was it about you that caused you to want to see or to endure whatever came at you and just endure it. Some people have it, most people don't. Most people give in to evil just like that, inside themselves and outside of themselves, inside of others. That was deep. I just heard that. My producer told me about it this morning, Char, but I didn't hear it until right now, and it was deep. And as I said yesterday, that the government is only a body of human beings who nature is evil, they have no love, and they are just like non-governmental people. Every human being have to deal with evil until you overcome it. And the government is just a body of human beings that has not overcome evil, and they're about themselves as individuals. They're not even care about each other. It's all about what they can get. And he's right. This man is right. They use pain. They use fear. You notice the devil always try to use fear and shame to control you. And they have done that with the blacks for 70 years or so, give or take. Right on to this guy. And here is that same man talking about the great white hope, Donald Trump. Watch this from X.
Start to realize that Democrats only care about my people's vote. They really don't care about our people. Even if they have the same skin color. Obama was trash. Donald Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime.
Yeah.
He stood on that stage and said, what do you got to lose?
Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Full on MAGA, I'm full on conservative. And there's more like me. Believe me.
Amazing. Amazing. That's deep. Absolutely deep. It's just the way it is. There are some people that's going to wake up. Most are not. Most are not. Right on. Good for that guy. I haven't seen that part either. That's deep, young man. Stay with it. The interesting thing about waking up, it leads to more awakening. It really does. Especially if you stay with it and you want it. But they can't get to the Great White Hope. I don't know how this thing going to turn out for him as president or all these fake lawsuits going after him. But I absolutely appreciate his example of how to deal with the world. And you can do it too if you connect with the right source inside of you. So good, right on to this guy for waking up. And you can tell as far as that, he see what's going on now with the Democratic Party, and that means the black representatives and the white liberals have done to the blacks. So from the Gazette.com, Fani Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, spoke at the Atlanta Berean Church this weekend while accepting the Black History Achievement Award. Watch this from X.
You know, people keep sending me scriptures, and I appreciate those scriptures, but different people from all different walks of life keep sending me this one scripture, and I don't think I ever really heard it till maybe 2 days ago. People send you stuff, you read them, they just kind of become things you recite, but you don't really think about what they say. The scripture they keep sending me is, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Just because they won't prosper, it doesn't mean that they won't form. Even if you feel like everything you are doing in your life is the right thing, and you're making mistakes all along the way, but you're trying, you should not think that those weapons will not form. The other lesson that I've learned in this 3 years is God ordains those weapons. He puts those weapons in your life to form against you. And if you really understand Him, you become in your maturity to understand He does it for a reason. And it's to grow you, and it's to make you stronger, and it is to prepare you.
Isn't that amazing? And those weak beta men sit back there holding their hands. What the? She's lying. God does not put anything in your way like that. That is a bald-faced lie. And this is the devil quoting the scriptures. This is evil quoting the scriptures. It's intellectual. But she's worshiping the devil. And they gave her an award in a black church. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. And they wonder why their lives as individuals are not getting better. They just rewarded evil. And they say that, according to a report, Fani Willis grew up close to her father. And if you saw her father in court, you understand. Just like daddy, just like daughter, both are lost. According to the New York Post, I want to just make the point, you heard the devil quote the scripture in the church, and the congregation, amen, God, and gave it applause. And they're standing there, those males standing there trying to look holy. Playing the devil's game in a building called church. Am I wrong? According to the New York Post, John Floyd III, the father of Fani Willis, is extremely close to his daughter. He must be just like his mama, because he was not good for her. He was not good for her, period. And here's why. According to the New York Post and the DailyMail.com, Floyd was a prominent Black Panther who called police the enemy. He gave testimony that she always made efforts to keep cash in the house, and that he instructed her to do so. Watch this from Forbes.
Did she say anything to you about having a large savings of cash?
Oh, no, no. See, maybe, excuse me, and Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a black thing, okay? You know,
there ain't no black thing.
I was trained.
Unless you're selling drugs.
And most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash. And I've always kept cash, and I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always. And as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her, always keep some cash.
So is that a yes?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's all I got, Judge.
Amazing. I ain't never heard nothing like that. And he was a quote-unquote prominent Black Panther. It reminded me, I reflected when I heard that he was a Black Panther person. I remember I lived in Alabama, right? And then during the summer, I would go up to Indiana to visit. And my parents in Indiana would not allow me and my siblings to go over to Chicago because they were afraid that we may get killed, beat up, or robbed by the Black Panthers. Because according to them, that at the time the Black Panthers were out of control and people were afraid of them. Even the blacks were afraid. I remember that still, sir. I don't know how true it was because I didn't go over there. I stayed away from the blacks. What's wrong with the blacks? And so the Black Panther is not something you need to be proud of. And I never heard keep cash in the house. It ain't no black thing, maybe in his black world, but no one ever said keep, not to me or anyone I know. You black, keep cash in the house. Maybe with some black people who were tripping. And also the New York Post is reporting that Floyd also called a prominent white politician a Texas cracker. Watch this from X.
After the election, I was so pissed off at that. How could this Texas cracker come here and run the black community? I was just livid.
Who are you referring to?
Jesse Hunter, Big Daddy Fat Texas cracker. Okay, Hunter. Okay, him. Okay.
He is ticked. Never make the black people angry. Don't make the black girl, what's that book called, James? By my friend? Don't make the black girl mad or something? Yeah, don't make the black kids angry. Y'all need to read that book. According to the New York Post, Willis told the Post she speaks to her father as much as 10 times a day. What the? And that his value continued to guide her. No wonder she's so crazy. You're so crazy. It's a spiritual battle, folks. It has nothing to do with color. There's evil and there's good. You're already under the umbrella of evil. Choose good. Choose good. Get away from the color. Get away from the group thinking. Start thinking for yourself and freedom will reign. It will come. As a matter of fact, it's already at hand. It's just waiting for you to reach out for it, reach in for it. Freedom comes from within. You were created to have perfect peace. You were not created to have fear and doubt and worry, suicidal thoughts, loneliness, insecurity, afraid to stand alone, identify with color, and all this matter. You were created to be free. You were created to have perfect peace right here on earth, right now. I was reflecting this morning as I was driving here. I do a lot of counseling around the world by phone, Skype, or walk-in. We're all, just every race you can think of. Male and female, old and young, family, and all kinds of things. And it's a story, it's the same. There's nothing new. The devil, which is in all of us until we overcome it. I'm going to put us in there so you'll hear me say us. All must be born again, right? So the devil is in every human being until they overcome it. Every human being must return to the Father in order to break out of the prison that you're in. Isn't that amazing? According to the New York Post, Chicago Board of Education voted on Thursday to end its contract with Chicago police and remove uniformed officers from the city schools. Some students told school board members that police in the schools scared them. Supporters of removing police from the school said the officers targeted minorities and did not make schools safer. Amazing. That's evil. That is pure evil. And I don't have any proof yet, but I can almost guarantee you not one school board member has one child in a public school. At least not those schools. But why would they want to inflict that kind of pain on you? Why would human beings want to inflict that type of pain upon you and your children? One reason, three reasons, but one primary reason is that they're evil. Human beings are evil. The nature of human beings, both men and women, males and females, are evil. I don't care how nice they present themselves or how mean they present themselves, they're evil. And you know that what's even worse? That you're going to have parents sending their children to these schools anyway. And you know why? Because the parents are evil. They don't love the children. They don't love the children at all. Their first thought when they heard that the school board had made this decision is, oh, Lord, what am I going to do to these children now? I'm going to send them to school anyway. And then go down to the school board and fight with the school board and pretend that I care. They don't care. Because if they care, they'll say, oh, okay, Mr. School Board, y'all won. I'm keeping my child at home. I homeschool my kids. Or find some safe, if it exists anywhere, private school for my children. But they're not going to do that. They're going to fight to keep the kids in those schools because parents do not love their children. Why do you think parents raise screwed up children? Because they're screwed up. They don't love the children. New York, and not just New York, you can find it in any, especially so-called Democrat state, but anywhere now, crime, so-called homelessness, drug use, murder, raping, killing, and break-ins. And in most cases, a lot of cases, just walking into stores, stealing stuff and walking out. And it's all evil. Evil is influencing these people to do these things. evil is influencing. I want you to know it's evil. There are family members who turn on each other and they'll try to destroy one another and they'll build an army. How come you don't know that's evil? Why don't you say to yourself, why am I doing this? This is my family. This is my so-called wife or husband. How come I can't pray for them in the way they should be praying for me instead of trying to build an army against them? What's driving me to make me do this? Have you seen New York City lately? I want you to see this from X, and I want you to question, how is New York City looking? New York City looking now? Watch this from X. This is evil, folks. And your government helps keep you there.
It's crazy out here.
That's hell. Those are demons. Well, those are demons,
They
folks.
can't even aim. Because another one. There it was.
Those are demons. And those people changing. There's one white man, all he's doing is walking down the street with a camera, and the demon's like, no, the light is on you. You don't want the light to shine you. Destroy the light. And all he's doing, walking down the street with a camera. Look like a cell phone at that. And the demons don't like the light. The same identical thing is happening in your mind and in your body. The demon hate the light. The demons. And when you when the light comes on inside of you, you realize you're wrong for being angry. That anger is evil, and you go and forgive, and the light comes on, the demons start to throw things at you. But that's a perfect example of what's happening in you. In every human being, not one goes, and they call it suicidal thoughts. They call it depression. They call it loneliness. They call it anxiety. They call it post-traumatic stress disorder. But they're lying to you. It's demons. Every human being is possessed. Everyone. Thank God for the light. And that's the New Testament inside of you. So you saw what's happening on the streets. But they have now a dance team. This is from thehill.com. Eric Adams defended the NYPD dance crew after a viral video of the team performing last week sparked online criticism. Watch this from Pix 11. Look how fat they are. That's the police. They're ready. You're looking at demons dancing. Those are demons.
I was born to be free.
What the?
While you get robbed and raped and killed, they're dancing. Bookalooing down Broadway. The police. And y'all want females to be police. Women were not created to be police, period. TheBlaze.com, NYPD's head of training revealed that the department relaxed its fitness requirement for recruits. They lowered the standards, just like they do for the blacks. For recruits. They did it for the women. Training Chief Juanita Holmes claimed the 1.5-mile timed run is holding women back from qualifying. You think? Here's some footage from this intense job standards test. Watch this from NYPD. They have lowered the standard for the woman. Now this is what the woman has to do. Watch this.
This is the physical test called the JST, or Job Standard Test. We want you to be prepared, so make sure you watch these examples closely. From a kneeling, weapon-ready position, the candidate sprints 50 feet to surmount 6-foot barrier. If you miss your first try, you're allowed 2 more attempts from a closer starting point. The candidate proceeds from the barrier surmount to a 6-stair climb system and completes 3 over and back traverses. The candidate proceeds from the physical restraint simulation to a run jog around a pattern of cones for approximately 600 feet. Picks up an inoperative firearm, holds the firearm within 9-inch diameter metal ring, and pulls the trigger 16 times. When all of these activities are put together, it's a pretty intense course.
Oh, I'm so tired. That was so hard. Even that lower set of training was hard, right? Do you feel safer now? They have lowered the standards. The criminals must be having a party right now. But that's sick. That's beta. What the? It's unfortunate, but I do understand it. They're pushing emotions as good. The very thing that needs to be dying are your emotions, and it's the very thing that the world offers you, and you take it.